First, let's start with this case. Last night, I, a 41-year-old female, had planned to stay the night at my boyfriend's place, 39 Meme, who lives about an hour away from me. We went out to watch a live band, had a great time, and grabbed some food on the way back. My boyfriend knows that I'm particular about the bed and that I almost always change his bed sheets when I come over, because he rarely does it himself. When I went to change the bed last night, he wouldn't let me. His bed had a dirty, ripped fitted sheet that wasn't even fully covering the mattress. Half of it was bare, and the part that was covered was full of large holes, exposing the dirty mattress underneath. I told him I couldn't sleep in a bed like that and asked if I could fix it. Changing the sheets would have taken me 3 minutes, and he wouldn't have needed to do anything. However, he insisted the bed was fine, turned off the lights, and got in. I kept asking him to let me put on fresh sheets and even threatened to drive home, but he called me ridiculous. When I asked for a blanket so I could lie on the couch, he tossed me a dirty, stained mattress cover and said, "Use this." At that point, I left and drove home at 2 a.m. We had planned to visit his family the next morning, but as I was leaving, I told him I wouldn't be driving all the way back. The next morning, he started calling, asking why I wasn't at his family's house as planned. I explained that after having to drive home so late, I wasn't going to make the trip again. He said I was rude for skipping the visit and is now upset with me. Let's start judging. Any boyfriend-girlfriend who cares about their partner's comfort would make a decent effort to provide them with a clean bed to sleep on. That this man expects you to sleep on a dirty mattress, with sheets that are dirty and torn, speaks quite plainly as to the level of effort he is willing to go to in order for you to be comfortable. And add to that, he is actively preventing you from making yourself comfortable, even though it would cost him nothing more than a few minutes and absolutely no effort from him. Think about that. You're not in the wrong. No, you're not. What kind of degenerate does that? Even in my most stoner, druggy, party blacked-out era, I'd never make my friends sleep on a used mattress with no clean sheet, throw a dirty blanket on them, or make them feel disrespected in my own home that they'd drive off at 2 a.m. You're not in the wrong, and at his age I would dump him as he is flat-out nasty and an idiot. Then to act like that about the family thing on top says narcissist as well, making it out to be your fault. I've dumped a girl for being nasty and didn't think twice about it, and I'm not perfect myself. Do the same. Next up, my husband, a 35-year-old male, works for a well-known clothing company with a shopping app. He gets employee discounts through the app and has shared his login credentials with a few close friends, which I don't mind. However, those friends have shared the credentials with their own friends and family, and now a large number of people are using the app constantly. This often results in the discounts being fully used up, there's a limit per quarter, before my husband can even benefit from them. The bigger issue arose when a stranger, someone we don't know, placed orders using my husband's account, but accidentally selected our address as the delivery location. They never reached out to us to apologize for the mistake or to cancel the orders in time before they were processed. This app has a frustrating delivery system. All orders are shipped separately, and you receive a unique security password via SMS that you must give to the delivery agent, even for returns. To make matters worse, I work from home, have a baby who naps in the afternoons, and a dog who goes ballistic when the doorbell rings. The app's deliveries almost always happen during my baby's nap time, which means I have to lock the dog in a bedroom and wait by the door to prevent the doorbell from ringing. This disrupts both my workday and my baby's sleep, and it's a routine I've grown tired of. I stopped ordering from the app because of this hassle, but now this stranger's orders have added unnecessary stress. They even raised return requests for the packages without informing us. This would mean going through the same process 6 more times, 3 separate packages, 2 already delivered and 1 on the way. Frustrated, I canceled the return pickups, which means the person won't get their refund. For the final package, I've decided to refuse delivery, so they will at least get their money back for that one. My husband thinks I'm overreacting. He says his friend, whose brother placed the orders by mistake, has now reached out, explaining the situation and asking me not to make a fuss, But I feel it's inconsiderate that they didn't communicate earlier or take responsibility for their mistake. Update. I've realized why this is so out of control. My husband doesn't even have access to his own app account anymore. His friend, who originally got the login credentials, has registered his own phone number with the account and only needed my husband's email to set it up. My husband can't even log in without a PIN sent to his friend's number. Thankfully, my husband is changing jobs soon, and I've warned him against sharing sensitive information like this in the future. Let's start judging. You're not in the wrong. This probably won't be a popular opinion, but your husband should be way more considerate. First, you don't get to use this discount yourself because your husband is committing a fraud. Second, you need to accept all those orders which ruin your day. Oh yes, I call a day where a baby becomes cranky because he didn't sleep well a ruined day. You're not a shipping hub, and if the people who steal from this company by using an employee's credentials doesn't know how to use the app, well, tough luck. You were given a gift. Try to use it better next time. You're not in the wrong, but your husband is. By 1, giving his login credentials to other people, and they're idiot for passing those credentials on to even more people. And 2, for not having your back when you're the one whose work and home life is being interrupted by these random deliveries. Your husband should change his password immediately and not give it to anyone except you. You're not in the wrong. Your husband's decision to give this personal discount info to other people is taking advantage of the company's intentions. Those discounts are supposed to be for the employee and his own family unit, not for every person he knows. His job could even be in jeopardy if they find out his friends are abusing this discount meant only for him. Draw your boundaries on this one and tell him this has to stop now. It's affecting your home schedules and life, and that is not acceptable to you. His family should come first, not his buddies and their buddies. He should change his login info and secure the account and app again, then tell them the party is over. You give people an inch, they will take a mile, is the saying that applies here. Next up, my nephew is a smart kid, but a total troublemaker who can't seem to stay out of legal trouble. He has a habit of hot-wiring old vehicles he finds unlocked in prime locations for theft. While he's clever enough to pull it off, he doesn't think about the long-term consequences, so he's on a first-name basis with the local juvenile officers. His parents, one of whom is my brother, have bailed him out every time he's been picked up by the cops. Despite this, my nephew shows no remorse for his actions. Now he's landed himself in legal trouble again. But this time, his parents decided not to bail him out. Instead, they expect me to cover the $500 bail. I've lost track of how many offenses he's had. I told them no. I believe he needs to learn accountability, especially before he turns 18 and faces much harsher consequences. I've even suggested that they ground him and encourage him to get a job at an auto shop, given his natural talent for working with cars. But my brother insists he doesn't want any of his kids to work. Now, my nephew's parents aren't speaking to me because they think I'm the bad guy for refusing to bail him out. They've accused me of turning my back on family. But I would treat my own 4 kids the same way. Bail them out once, and after that, they're on their own. I'm not saying kids should just be thrown behind bars, but my nephew hasn't learned anything from his past mistakes. If someone expects me to use my money for situations like this, I think it's fair for me to use my judgment. Let's start judging. You're not in the wrong comments. If anyone is obligated to bail him out, which is certainly debatable, it's his parents. It's definitely not you. One piece of advice: stop commenting on their parenting with things like, "He should stay there to learn his lesson." That's not your business. Your business is only, "I'm not providing bail money." You're not in the wrong. Right after I turned 16, my mother told me that if I ever got into trouble and got thrown in jail to not expect them to bail me out. Your nephew made his bed, let him sleep in it. If his parents want to keep bailing him out and showing him that they'll keep doing it, no matter how many times he gets in trouble, let them. It's not on you to bail their kid out of jail for something he did. You're not in the wrong. I was raised the same way. A get-out-of-jail-free card the first time you get arrested, and after that it's on you. This kid is a repeat offender, and unfortunately, I think every family has one of those. Either way, family or not, the kid is the one making those choices. Your brother and his wife are making the choices to repeatedly do nothing to hold him accountable and be like, look, you have to understand where this is going to land you. Let the kid gain the fruits of his labor. Eventually, he'll be an adult and realize that mommy and daddy aren't going to help him forever. Next up, my husband, 28, and I, 25, were in our backyard on Saturday when we saw a stray cat. Normally, we shoo strays away because they stress out our indoor-only cat and hunt the birds that visit our feeders. However, when my husband yelled, "Hey, shoo!" this cat ran up to him, meowing nonstop. That's when we noticed he was extremely skinny, clearly unneutered, and had a small injury on one of his feet. If he was someone's pet, he wasn't being cared for. We initially thought he might be a lost or escaped pet, so we caught him and set him up in a quarantined space inside our house with food, water, and a litter box. Since the Humane Society was closed for the weekend, we decided to call them on Monday. In the meantime, we posted his photo on the local Lost Pets Facebook group with our email address. On Monday, we received an email that said, "Hi, will you please let Bongo out so he can come back towards home? He is a feral cat, but he is loved in his neighborhood. He comes to my place all the time, stays here at night, and then leaves and comes back later. Laura." Laura and her sister, whom we'll call Sarah, also bombarded the Facebook post, repeatedly asking if we got their email and demanding we let the cat go. This put us in a tough spot. Based on Laura's own words, he's not her cat. He's a neighborhood stray that she occasionally feeds. He's unneutered, unvaccinated, and has no regular medical care. We didn't feel comfortable releasing an unneutered, injured cat back into a neighborhood with coyotes, cold nights, and busy roads. So we responded on the Facebook post. "Hi, yes, we did get your email. In your email, you said he is a neighborhood feral, which means he does not have an owner or receive regular medical care. His back foot is injured, he seems to have parasites, and he is not fixed. He's a fantastic indoor cat and wonderfully suited for adoption. So we're going to take him to the Humane Society to get veterinary care, a microchip, and ideally a permanent home." The response was explosive. Laura and Sarah began spamming the post, threatening to dox us, call the police, and even show up at our house if we didn't release their cat. They're now changing their story, claiming he's an indoor-outdoor pet. But if that's true, why did they initially say he was feral? We're feeling very stressed and upset. If this was truly their pet, we'd never keep him. But it's clear they're not properly caring for him. Are we the bad guys for stepping in and prioritizing his safety and well-being over their emotional attachment to a stray? Let's start judging. AmITheA tell them, okay, we let the cat go. He seems pretty sick. Then go ahead and keep him. What are they going to do, call you a liar? We let him go, and I don't know, he must have died. If problems continue, call animal control. That's what they are here for. But how would they dox you? And what are the police going to do? Trace your computer over a feral cat? You're not in the wrong. A lilac point Siamese unneutered male kitten would come over to my house all the time. I found out he lived across the street as an indoor-outdoor cat and that the father would kick him. Finally, he showed up with yellow eyes, and I took him to my vet. It was already too late, as he had liver damage and leukemia. I told the owners that they could have him back if they paid the vet bills. They never asked again. He died at 7 years of massive cancer in many organs. Keep the cat and find him a caring home before it is too late. Well, first of all, you didn't steal the cat. It sought you out looking for help. He could have limped back to the area of the weird women, but even he knew that he wouldn't be helped by them. Second, they can march their assessment down to the Humane Society and officially adopt him and become legally responsible for his needs and well-being if they truly want to. Please, no. You did what I wish everyone would do, or at the very least make an effort to call someone. Not everyone can do what you did, though. Good on you. Good luck, and update us. You're not in the wrong. You're not in the wrong. Say to LNS, if it's your cat, then you have been a negligent owner and I will be calling the police to report you for it. See if that backs them off. Realistically, if you let the cat back outside, it will likely return to their place as it is part of its turf. Also, this is clearly not a feral cat, as no feral walks up to a human, especially not one it does not know. Also, true ferals do not meow. So the truth is that Bongo is a stray who hung out sometimes with LNS, and probably some others as well. Which I am Joe means that you have as much right to Bongo as anyone. And he will have a better life with you than as a stray going from place to place with untreated injuries, a chancy food supply, and no medical care.